Have you ever noticed how by the time we reach midlife, people have very different paths? Some are happily married, others divorced, some widowed, and many of us are single by choice or by circumstance. Today, I want to talk about what it's like being single in midlife, not from a place of loneliness or lack, but from a place of freedom, self awareness, and joy. One could probably say I've become a little set in my ways. But honestly, I think it's more that I've just grown into knowing exactly what I like and what I don't. That's the gift of midlife clarity. Now, I know some of you watching are happily coupled, and that's wonderful. I'm not against relationships. But for me, I realized I didn't want to keep pouring energy into relationships that drained me. And now, you know what? The moment I made that decision, it felt like the biggest relief. By the time we're in our 40s, 50s, and beyond, we're carrying some kind of emotional baggage. Divorces, exes, co parenting challenges, complicated family dynamics, you name it. I finally decided I don't need to keep adding more drama to my life. I wanted peace, and I have it by being single. No negotiating weekend plans, no splitting holidays, no walking on eggshells to keep someone else happy. And then there's the money side of things. One of the biggest benefits of being single in midlife. Honestly, I love the freedom of having full control over my finances. No joint debt, no hidden credit cards, no you spent what on Amazon conversations. It's just me, my budget, and my goals. I get to decide how every dollar is spent, saved, or invested. If I want to splurge on a weekend getaway, I can. If I'd rather tuck that money away for the future, I do it without having to explain myself to anyone. And let's be honest, finances are one of the leading causes of stress in relationships. Different spending habits, debt, financial secrets, those things can weigh a relationship down. Not having that stress has been wonderful. I also find a lot of peace in knowing my financial future is completely in my hands. There's no waiting for someone else to agree to start a savings plan or invest. I set the goals, I take the action, and I reap the rewards. That independence has allowed me to focus on what really matters, building a secure, stable, and joyful life on my own terms. Another huge gift of being single in midlife is the freedom to focus on personal growth. Without a partner to constantly navigate around, you get to invest deeply in yourself. For me, that looks like exploring new hobbies, diving into creative projects, or simply allowing myself to rest without guilt. I don't have to negotiate how I spend my time. I can take a Saturday to binge read a novel or create art or work on a new idea. And no one is rolling their eyes wondering why I'm not doing something else. Travel is also very fulfilling. I plan trips the way I want to, whether that means a month-long stay in a new city, a solo getaway to reset my mind, or a spontaneous day trip. And if I wake up and decide I want to cancel or change my plans, that's perfectly fine too. No stress, no disappointments, no compromise. This freedom also opens up space for inner growth. You learn to listen to yourself, to your needs, and to your intuition in deeper ways. Midlife is the perfect season to reinvent yourself. And when you're single, you have the bandwidth to explore what truly lights you up. It's not about being selfish, it's about being intentional. When you choose how to spend your time, energy, and money, you're essentially creating a life that aligns with your values. One thing people often assume about being single in midlife is that it must be lonely. But the truth is, community looks different for everyone. When you don't have a partner at home, you have to be more intentional about building your circle. But that doesn't mean you're isolated. For me, community looks like having friends I can call up for a spontaneous lunch, spending time with my kids and grandkids, or planning outings with people who share my interests. I love going to museums, meeting friends for coffee, or even just taking Louie, my miniature Australian Shepherd, on walks where I meet new people. And then there's the joy of being completely comfortable in my own company. I don't wait around for someone else's schedule to line up before I do something I enjoy. If I want to see a movie, I go. If I want to take a trip, I plan it. And you know what? Those solo experiences can be just as rich and fulfilling as the ones shared with others. I found that being single actually pushes me to cultivate deeper friendships and invest in family ties in ways that sometimes get overlooked in traditional relationships. My community may not look conventional, but it's strong, supportive, and exactly what I need. There are so many things I love about being single in midlife. Decorating my home exactly the way I want, every inch of it reflecting me. Eating what I want when I want, going to bed early or staying up late with a good book. Spontaneous decisions like going out to a museum or taking a road trip without checking in with anyone else. And that freedom feels so light and expansive. Now, if you're someone who's romantic at heart, still hoping and actively looking for love, that's beautiful too. There's nothing wrong with wanting partnership. But for those of us who aren't looking, I just want to say there's nothing wrong with us either. We get to celebrate our independence, our choices, and the unique kind of joy that comes with creating our life on our terms. So, to all the single ladies out there in midlife, know this. Your life is not missing anything. You're not less than, you're not behind, and you're not unfinished. You are whole, complete, and free to create a life that feels good to you. Thank you so much for watching.